Imagine being a master and you have trained your student for the last several years every single day. You taught him everything you know and then have to face him in a gladiatorial ring in a fight to the death. And if you refuse, your wife is going to be put to death. And if he refuses, his mother will be put to death. Imagine it. Well, all I can say is this. My student better give me everything he's got, because I would never hold back.
Know your place, worm. Prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
The day has come for Taima to face off against his master in a gladiatorial ring in a fight to the death. And his master just so happens to be Beerus' father. Chapter 4 of Dragon Ball Infinity is finally here. Guys, make sure you check it out in the Facebook link that I've provided below. And follow the creator of Dragon Ball Infinity on Twitter. I'm going to have a link to his Twitter in the top comment and the description below. Go ahead and support the artist. The Pharaoh uses cell-like powers to create the ring, and then he summons 4 pillars. Now these 4 pillars are special. They're not just for decoration. They are supposed to be holding in a barrier around the arena, so that way the audience does not get injured in any of the collateral damage that comes from this fight. Taima has to face off against Brood, and this fight has serious stakes, and you can even look at Brood and Taima's expression. They are in this 110%. Now, it's up to them to see which one breaks first, because these guys are not only master and student, but essentially best friends, and they are put in an impossible situation, but they're going to have to make the best of it. Right off the bat, Brood attacks, and he shows exactly how strong and how ferocious his fighting style is, but Taima is quicker and swifter and evades his attacks with ease. Unfortunately, Taima still has much to learn, and he gets hit with a direct blast right to his torso, and he seems to be out of commission, and it also seems that Brood wants him to stay down, maybe pretend that he is dead, that way they don't have to go with the fight and kill each other so their loved ones don't die. But Taima stands up, his honor is on the line, and he powers up to attack Brood. Taima hits Brood with just a little bit of his power, and he goes flying back into the wall. And at this point, Taima's resolve completely breaks. And it makes sense a little bit because Taima is younger. He's basically a teenager, a young adult, and he is extremely cocky. He is far more powerful than he was at the beginning of this Dragon Ball fan manga. And so with his newfound power, he offers Brood a deal. They both take on the Pharaoh together. There's nothing really keeping them inside the arena. The barrier is only there so the audience doesn't get hurt, but they can fly out of the barrier anytime they want. The only thing that's keeping them there is the promise that the Pharaoh will kill their loved ones if they decide to leave. But Taima believes he can take on the Pharaoh as long as he's got Brood at his side. And it almost seems like Brood takes the offer until this happens.
Puny God.
And I just love this panel right here. I think this is by far my favorite panel in this chapter because you can tell that Taima believes that Brood is going to go along with this plan, but then once he realizes that Brood's got a firm grip on his hand and he can feel his intentions, the artist created such a perfect look of shock on Taima's face that I just relish. I love this panel so much, and of course Taima gets Hulk smashed. Taima understandably feels a little bit betrayed, and attacks Brood with everything he's got, giving him an energy volley, but Brood puts up a shield. They both commit to a beam struggle, but Brood's experience and strength overwhelm Taima, and he is down for the count. While he's down, he thinks about the consequences of him losing this match, and that is the Pharaoh killing his mother. And this puts him into a rage, and he goes into a false Super Saiyan transformation. And with one blast completely takes out his master. Now, I've talked to the creator of Dragon Ball Infinity, and he confirms that after this chapter, Brood is still alive. He's just basically in shock. As soon as this victory is Taima's, he turns around and attacks the Pharaoh with everything he has, going into a fit of rage. And I just love how he turns his attention straight to the Pharaoh, because that is his real enemy. But it looks like the Pharaoh's strength is comparable to Beerus facing off against Super Saiyan 3, and he flicks Taima away, knocking him out of his false Super Saiyan transformation, and then Pharaoh hits him right in the back of the head, and we go into a flashback sequence of Planet Vegeta, and this chapter ends in a cliffhanger. Guys, this was a great Dragon Ball Infinity chapter. It had everything that I needed. The fight itself was so sleek and smooth, and I love the way that it was all about hand-to-hand combat at first, and then they finally got into the energy blasts. Even Taima having to charge up to be able to damage Brood even a little bit, and then going into his false Super Saiyan transformation and taking him out, that was great. His swift turn to attack the Pharaoh was also really good. I'm curious to see how this is going to play into Chapter 5, mainly because the glimpse we got of Planet Vegeta is completely different than anything we've seen so far in Dragon Ball Infinity, because of course Dragon Ball Infinity has a completely different aesthetic than Planet Vegeta. So I cannot wait to see Chapter 5. Jordan, you've done it. This is fantastic. Keep on going. Keep making chapters. This is great. Again, guys, make sure you go ahead and give Jordan some love on his Twitter. This is going to be BlackScape signing off. Take care, guys.